Well, this best-of-7 championship series got started in Toronto. First pitch of the series for the Jays. Springer went deep. That'd be one of the 2 hits in the game as the Mariners shut him down and took game 1. And then the offense came to life in game 2. 3 home runs for the Mariners and a 10-run outburst and a 2-0 series lead here to Seattle. But Shane Bieber and the Blue Jays bats came to life yesterday. 13 runs to get in the win column in this series, and so it is 2-1 Mariners as we get set for game 4. And the headliners of this series so far, Vlad Jr. coming back to life yesterday with a 4-for-4 game, 3 extra base hits. We're getting closer and closer to first pitch. 57 degrees, a little bit cooler than it was last night. Another perfect night for postseason baseball. Down to the field we go. Here's Tom Verducci.
Well, thank you, Joe. Mariners infielder Leo Rivas was on his way to the ballpark today when he opened the team app and found a surprise. His name in the starting lineup. For the first time in 18 days, Rivas is used to waiting. After signing at age 16 for $40,000, he spent 9 years in the minor leagues. 3 years ago, stuck in AA in the Red system, he thought about quitting. He told me, I don't know what I would have done. All I know is baseball, but I have a family to support. He stuck it out, signed with the Mariners as a minor league free agent, and last week had a huge game-tying hit in ALDS Game 5 on his 28th birthday. Manager Dan Wilson wants him in the lineup for his elite defense at second base, and the way he approaches every at-bat, like his career, he grinds it out. Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Tom. Max Scherzer missed most of the first 3 months with a right thumb injury. There were times when neither he nor the Blue Jays were certain he would return. Late in the season, he also dealt with back and neck issues, and in his last 5 starts, he had an ERA of nearly 10. Well, his physical problems are behind him now. And 9 days ago, he threw a 95-pitch simulated game. His success tonight hinges on his command, but also on how hard he is throwing. Watch the radar readings. If Scherzer is at 93 to 95, he's in a good place. 90 to 92, not so much. Joe?
Look at him storming around. Mad Max is ready to go for his 31st postseason game, and it's time for tonight's same game parlay, available now on FanDuel. Need 2 total bases for George Springer. He had 6 of them last night, and you got Vlad Jr., who needed to get an RBI. He leads the postseason with 10 of them this year. Cal Rowley led the American League in runs batted in during the regular season. The Seattle wins both games in Toronto. The Blue Jays bounce back with a 13-4 win yesterday, and the lineup they send out for game 4 looks like this: Springer, Lucas, and Vlad Jr. Alejandro Kirk hit one of the 5 home runs yesterday, his first one since the first game of the playoffs. Varsho's in center field. Ernie Clement moves over to third. Addison Barger moves to right. Santander's off of the roster, and then Kiner Falefa gets plugged in at second base. Andres Jimenez, who is the guy, gave him the jolt with the first of the 5 long balls yesterday. Mariners have taken the field, and the 32-year-old out of Bani, Dominican Republic, Luis Castillo, who started game 2 and finished game 5 of the division series, gave up just 1 hit over 6 scoreless innings. And really, John, you go back to early September, 3 runs his last 31 innings, the top pitcher in the league.
Yeah, and he's going to have to be the top pitcher on the mound tonight because he's got to stay away from the crooked number, meaning it seems elementary. Home runs, solo home runs should not beat you, but getting the leadoff hitter out and traffic off the bases, that's where Toronto's done their best work. Look for a lot of fastballs and see where his slider is. It much improved the last month. If that stays that way, he's got a chance to tame this offense.
All right, because you said it, he throws his fastball about 70% of the time. The Blue Jays went 4 for 37 against fastballs the first 2 games, and then in their hitters meeting yesterday, they said, look, we know these guys are going to try to pound the zone. Let's beat them to the spot. Let's make them pay. And with that philosophy, they had 15 hits against fastballs. So if you're Castillo, that's who you are. Do you get scared out of the zone by watching that, or do you stick to what makes you you?
No, you stick with it and you make better pitches. They got too many fat pitches in the middle of the zone that just took the offense to another gear, and Toronto took advantage of it. Very few times in the postseason will you get away with 3, 4, 5 mistakes. You cannot give this hitting team too many balls in the middle of the zone.
Umpiring crew for this game 4, Alfonso Marquez, the crew chief, goes behind home plate. Well, the Blue Jays 1 win away from guaranteeing that this championship series goes back to Toronto in search of their first World Series in 32 years. The Mariners 2 wins away from their first trip to the World Series. And off we go with a ball down and in on George Springer. He's had a solid postseason, but he had his first really big game yesterday. 3 for 6. His 3rd home run of the postseason, his 35th of the year. And he yanks a line drive to left field that Arozarena picks off.
See, you'll take those. You'll take hard outs. I mean, this team's going to be ready to swing, and they're going to put the ball in play. So your defense is going to have to be really good. And as a pitcher, again, getting the first batter out every inning is huge in the postseason, especially with this team. You don't want Guerrero. You don't want the guys that are hot to have chances to drive in runners early.
Everybody was looking hot yesterday with the 13 runs on 18 hits for this Blue Jays offense. 5 of those 18 hits left the yard. Nathan Lucas, who's hitting .348 in this postseason, knocked in a run, scored a run yesterday. Ground ball to first, and on 3 pitches. 2 out. 4 pitches, gets the 2 outs. Defense behind him, Arozarena, Rodriguez, and Dominic Canzone, as Victor Robles, struggling the first few games of this series, is out. Suarez and Crawford on the left side. Tom Verducci told you about Leo Rivas getting his first start of the postseason. Naylor at first and Raleigh doing the.
I know the changeup percentage has gone down, but I still think it's going to be a big pitch tonight against an offense that doesn't see that as a fastball. When you see that changeup working for him off that fastball, he should get a lot of ground ball outs. It's not a swing and miss changeup. It's almost a put in play changeup. And he got an out on it right away.
Here is the guy that's been the man for the Blue Jays. Guy that they're paying to be the man. He has stepped up when they've needed him. 4 for 4 with a home run and 2 doubles yesterday, with the offense searching for it. Castillo to Guerrero. Up the middle. Crawford. Running throw is in time, and a 1-2-3 first on 7 pitches. Bang, bang play at first, but it was just in time. Crawford, a heck of a play. Mariners come to bat against Max Scherzer when you come back. After the scoreless top of the first from Luis Castillo, here come the Mariners with their batting lineup. Randy Arozarena leads off, and then Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez, who's gone deep back-to-back games. Jorge Polanco leading all players in the championship series in hits and in runs batted in. Naylor's at first, Suarez at third. Canzone starts in right with Crawford sliding up and hitting 8th with Rivas in the lineup out of the 9th spot. And so here he is, the 41-year-old Max Scherzer, his 31st postseason game, the 500th of his career.
He's going to be a glove side fastball type pitcher. He can throw to both sides of the plate. He's going to be amped up with his fastball. If I'm the Seattle Mariners, I try to get aggressive off his fastball, get on base, and maybe take some bases. That's the breakdown. He's got all the experience, but does he have the connectivity to his slider, changeup, and curveball?
His first pitch of the night to Arozarena is a fastball that's cut on and missed.
The fastball won't be a problem with a month off. And the adrenaline of this playoff game and what it means to the Toronto Blue Jays and Scherzer, that's going to ride in the first 2 innings.
There is a slider, bounce down to third. Bounce of a throw from Clement, but it's dug out by Guerrero. And Max Scherzer, who made his debut back in 2008 in his 18th season now. 3,000 strikeouts, 3 Cy Youngs in his career. 26th postseason start with his 6th different team back to when he was with the Detroit Tigers at the start of his career. He's trying to get his first win in the postseason since he won it all with the Nationals in 2019. 1 away in this first inning, the MVP chance for Cal Raleigh. Strike 1 from Scherzer.
Good sign on the fastball, and again, the first 2 innings, I would say the velocity is going to be there. What happens in the third when some of that adrenaline wears off?
Another breaking pitch. First couple that he's thrown have looked sharp.
Very, very good sign early on for Scherzer. His last 2 starts, although be it a month ago, had a hard time connecting in the first inning. Give up 7 runs to the to the Kansas City Royals and 3 runs in the first inning to the Red Sox.
13 ERA in the first inning overall coming off of those 2. He's been pretty darn good after that. In the dirt to Raleigh, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Across the postseason this year, teams have had big first innings. This series alone has seen 8 first inning runs. Scherzer storms out of that mound looking like a power lifter who just had smelling salts, getting ready to take down a bench press. Thrives off of that adrenaline. Some guys are better off being cool. You would take a nap before the game. Yeah. He ain't napping.
No. Pretty intense, pretty focused, and obviously been waiting a long time for this opportunity.
Here's 1-2 to Raleigh. Inside, it's 2-2. When he's been healthy this year, which has not been for very long, he's been good. Now, he missed a lot of the first half with a nerve issue in his thumb. There was a 5-start stretch, though, early on in the second half where he had a 2 ERA before his back and his neck started barking at him again. Health is everything. I've heard you talk about the way that he finishes his pitches. If he's hurting, he can't do that.
Yeah, he snaps his neck pretty hard at the finish, and that's going to be essential. He pulled his changeup really bad right there. That changeup needs to fade away against left-handers. And again, he'll get the feel of it if he stays in the game long enough.
3-2 to the big dumper is inside, and the Mariners have their first base runner as Raleigh takes the walk. It brings up Julio Rodriguez and brings us to Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. He's homered in back-to-back games and driven in 5. Thanks to Google Cloud for powering these real-time insights. They give him a 19% chance to make it a 3rd game in a row with a home run. Star player for the Mariners, and when he is hitting, combining it with that personality, the smile, the energy, he's right up at the top of the list of the best guys in the league to watch.
I was blown away standing next to him how big and strong he is. I mean, you know, big, strong, young, flies, hits with power.
Oh! And he's still just 24 years old. First guy in Major League history to put up the kind of numbers that he has, the power and speed numbers. Already with 2 30-30 seasons. In the driver's seat here. On a 2-0 from Scherzer. Julio takes ball 3.
Green light.
Crowd knows it. Back-to-back walks.
So that's my point. Month off. Simulation game does not prepare you, even though it's great to throw 95 pitches. It does not prepare you for game action and being able to be connected with the strike zone. Again, this is one of the best pitchers of all time, and he's trying to do it on the fly based on his experience and his knowledge and his know-how. It's different when you haven't pitched in a game in a month.
And you go from facing the potential MVP to probably the most talented guy in the field to the guy that's been the best hitter on the Mariners in this postseason, and Jorge Polanco. He's looked so calm, so comfy up there, leading all players in the championship series with 5 hits and 5 runs batted in.
Great patience so far by the Mariners. They're an aggressive swing and miss type home run hitting ball club.
First and second, 1 away. Scherzer's 1-0 is bounced along first and foul. Well, since his last postseason win, Game 1 of the World Series in 2019, Scherzer with a 5 ERA. Won it all again in 2023 with the Texas Rangers, but has not gotten a win in 6 years in the playoffs. Raleigh at second, Rodriguez at first. Polanco takes a strike, and Scherzer's back in there at 1-2.
That's the changeup you're used to seeing him throw. That is the one that equalizes the fastball. I mean, that has that screwball type ball, just fades away from a left-handed hitter.
Here's where he could not put guys away in September. Numbers through the roof with 2 strikes. .25 runs allowed his last 25 innings pitched. Was not on the division series roster. Activated for this championship series, trying to get it tied up at 2 games apiece. His 1-2 to Jorge Polanco. Bounced up the middle, could be 2. There's 1 and a toss to first, a double play. Max Scherzer storms off of the field with a first inning 0, pitching around the pair of walks. Luis Castillo needed 7 pitches to work a 1-2-3 first, and we look at StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, you look at the fastball at 95 miles an hour, and then you got to deal with the slider almost 10 miles off of that. And that's what the hitter has to deal with when it comes to change of speeds.
Alejandro Kirk takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. He really struggled when he faced these Blue Jays a couple times during the regular season. 8 runs over 10 innings. Gave up 17 hits in those 10 innings. And Kirk's somebody who's hit him hard. Here he hits it high. Who wants it? Naylor the call and the catch.
Yeah, I watched a lot of that video, and his secondary stuff was not sharp, and they took advantage of it, gapped him, hit some home runs, and created a lot of stress for him. And so already it looks like he's had better feel for the changeup, which he hasn't thrown as much, and then the slider you're going to see that works off that fastball when he gets it to glove side part of the plate.
You know, again, Toronto being aggressive. All 18 hits that they had yesterday came over the first 3 pitches of an at-bat. Varsho takes downstairs. The previous postseason record was 11 hits in a game on the first 3 pitches, and they had 18 yesterday. Now, it's been in play early in this game as well, but all of them outs. And that's kind of what you saw the first 2 games in Toronto. The approach yesterday was not a whole lot different. They're always aggressive. It's just 5 of them went over the wall, and a bunch of them found holes. It just as well could go the other way. And you could be deep into this game on very few pitches with this aggressive approach.
Well, it's a controlled aggressiveness. And what I mean by that is you can be aggressive and swing at bad pitches and make outs. They don't really do that. They're controlled in the zone. And that is a philosophy that they have adopted since spring training, and they've perfected when they basically average 5 runs a game. So this is not just like swing from their heels. It's recognizing what their strike zone is and their game plan and then executing it.
Number 1 in the majors in batting average, number 1 in contact. John Schneider was saying before the game, but when we hit it out of the park like we did yesterday, that's when you say, wow, that's when this offense becomes special. Varsho's able to stay alive. We asked him what the mood was before yesterday's game, if there's any extra edge, the approach from the hitters, and he said, no, very much normal, which is exactly what we want. So that's the example he tries to set.
Castillo has had a success against Varsho up in the zone with the fastball.
Goes down with a slider right here to strike him out. He's retired the first 5. There's his first K.
The change of speeds and the little break. That is what you want to start that off the plate and catch part of it and under the barrel.
Over the last month as he's dominated, opponents now 1 for 23 against that slider. With 2 gone, it's Ernie Clement. He starts in with that pitch.
And the key is the lower 3/4 arm angle is the same. There's nothing that deviates to let you know, uh-oh, different pitch. He throws his fastball from that slot and his slider and changeup from it. Kind of like shot puts it and slings it at the same time, and it gets that extra feel of that fastball having late life.
It's the lowest arm angle of any right-hander in baseball. And when he uses that high fastball, it's just a very unique look because it's coming at you from that low spot, but then staying high. 1-2 on Ernie Clement, one of the toughest players in the league to strike out. Up the middle he goes with another 2-strike hit. Ernie Clement, close to 500 in this postseason, is the first base runner for Toronto.
That's just good base hit. That's just good hitting. I mean, that ball was inner third, and he went right up the middle. So he throws this fastball in, and he goes right up the middle instead of trying to do too much with it.
Keeps the inning going for Addison Barger. Went into the 9th inning last night, 0 for 10 in this series. Made a little adjustment with his hands, raised him higher in his stance, and hit his first home run.
He's got good numbers against Castillo.
Good numbers against Castillo. Good numbers in this ballpark this year. Place where he grew up coming to games. 4 games here this year. He's got 5 extra base hits. He's driven in 6 runs. And he's ahead 2-1. He was born in Bellevue, Washington. He moved to Florida when he was 5, but continued to be a diehard Mariners fan. He said his parents would let him stay up late to watch the games. And then they would come back to Washington for their summers and always come to the park. He flips one to short, and a puck from Crawford. Snow cone there, climbing the ladder. The 2-out base hit from Ernie Clement for the Mariners shortstop for the 2nd time in as many innings, with a nice defensive play to put a capper on it. To the bottom of the 2nd we go in a scoreless game. Mariners lead this series 2-1. Josh Naylor leads off this inning, comes up empty on a first pitch fastball from Max Scherzer, making his first start in 3 weeks. Got through that first inning. That's been the big hurdle for him. Here's a high fly ball, deep center field. Varsho to the track, Varsho to the wall. It's gone. Josh Naylor goes deep, and the Mariners are on the board first.
Well, left it up, and it was a question of whether or not this man was going to rob it, and just outside the glove. And another good start here at home for Seattle. They saw this yesterday, but it didn't last very long.
It's the 8th home run of this series for the Mariners. 14 of their 18 runs have come off the long ball. Naylor's second. A ball flying out of here yesterday like it was Coors Field. 8 home runs between the teams combined. 2 in a row. Eugenio Suarez was the most home runs this park has seen in a game in 2 years. (2-0). Strike one. Now, not a fun lineup statistically for Scherzer to go against with all the power that the Mariners have. And Scherzer, the worst home run rate in baseball. Even when he was at his best, home runs were always a part of it. Flipped into right for Barger. 1 gone in the 2nd inning. Now, for those of you that have been with us, not seeing the finish of this game, Dodgers again shut down the Milwaukee Brewers, who are one of the best offensive teams in baseball this year. Just 3 runs on 9 hits over the first 3 games. And if you're flipping over from that game and watching this one now, you just missed Josh Naylor going deep to start the scoring. Mariners 1, Blue Jays nothing. Dominic Canzone gets tied up by a fastball. How about Dodger starters, John, have already pitched as many innings as they did all of last postseason in about half the number of games.
Yeah, well, they were beat up in the rotation last year, and they certainly aren't now. They got a plethora of starters, and that was their goal. You know, last year they won with the bullpen. This year they're going to win. If they win, it's because of the starters.
Last year they averaged under 4 innings per start. This year they're averaging north of 6. 0-2 to Canzone is in the dirt. That's the first win for a home team in this championship series. The Dodgers do finish off that National League Championship Series. If the Mariners win this CS, the Dodgers would host games 1 and 2. If the Blue Jays win the CS, it'd be the other way around. Toronto would host. Straightaway second, Kiner Falefa. 2 out.
Well, yesterday's game for John Schneider was very easy to manage. I don't think that's going to be the case for tonight. There's so many things he's got to consider. How long to go with Scherzer, who to bring in next. He's going to have a bullpen ready, and he's just hoping the game shakes out in a way that won't be as stressful, but more than likely that's going to be a stressful game for both managers.
Yeah, with the blowouts the last 2 games, 10-3 in game 2, 13-4 in game 3. Both bullpens are pretty rested, especially when it comes to the top arms, because they've been able to stay away from them. John Schneider hinted that he'd like to give Mariners hitters a little bit different look with the high leverage guys than they've seen. Understanding the power of a 3rd time facing a guy penalty. See a reliever multiple times through a series. The numbers go way up. He's got Chris Bassett ready. He stayed away from Eric Lauer yesterday, so some length down there with those two. Scherzer to J.P. Crawford with an 0-2. Plays off a change. Scherzer kicks and deals a 1-2 and a high fly ball to right field for Barger. It'll bring a close to this 2nd inning, but the Mariners strike first, and guess how they do it? It's a home run. Josh Naylor's 2nd of the postseason, and after 2, Mariners 1, Jays nothing.
Welcome back to Seattle. We're joined by Mariners manager Dan Wilson. Luis Castillo back on the mound. Dan, he had thrown only 5 changeups this postseason. He's got 2 outs already on changeups. Might we see more secondaries tonight?
Yes, so far so good. I think he's thrown some nice changeups. He's thrown a couple nice sliders as well, but the heater looks good as well. So he seems to be firing on all cylinders tonight. Some good defense behind him too. A couple really nice plays by JP at short.
And you know, Max Scherzer is not going to give in. You saw that in the 1st inning. Josh Naylor got him in the zone. What's the key to the approach?
Yeah, I mean, you know, getting something on the plate, and you don't see a lot of them from Scherzer because he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. But once we do get those, we're going to be able to do some damage to him.
Thanks so much, Dan.
Isaiah Kiner Falefa's into 2nd with a leadoff double. Dan's going to say, I'm done talking to you, Tom, because every time he does, there's a leadoff double. Yesterday was Ernie Clement to start a 5-run inning. Today, Isaiah Kiner Falefa with his first hit of the postseason.
Kind of carbon copy to yesterday. When they got their leadoff hitter on, it was a double, and then a 2-run homer by this next guy. You know, he's still going to try to pull it to get him over to 3rd with nobody out.
Corners are still pinched in, thinking the same thing they were yesterday after the leadoff double, that he was going to bunt. He actually thought to himself, maybe I should be bunting here. Almost did it on his own, even not getting the sign. John Schneider said, I'm glad that he didn't. And that I did not have that home run on my bingo card for Andres Jimenez. But man, you were talking about who's going to give him that thing that could change it all. Who's going to give him that jolt? Who had Jimenez providing it?
No, that was a big home run. And anytime you're on the road and you're down 2-0 in the series and down 2-0, you tie that game up that quick, it just gives the whole bench energy.
He has homered against Castillo before. Waves over the top of this slider, 2-1. Tying run at 2nd, 2-1 to the plate. Fouled back, 2-2. Player profile sponsored by Liberty Mutual. Sort of the whole team profile, because they had 5 guys go deep in yesterday's game. Tied the franchise record for a postseason game that was set during the division series against the Yankees. There's been a boom or bust lineup. 10 runs a game in the wins in the postseason, 3 a game in the losses. Jays trying to ensure that this series goes back north of the border. Saying don't lose your passports. Mariners a 2-2. Somehow gets to it and stays alive. Blue Jays have been the only team to have much success in this ballpark against the Mariners this year. They're now 4-0 against Seattle at T-Mobile Park. Rest of the teams in the majors 27-51 here. It's really hard to come play in this place. The Jays swept a 3-game series in May and then winning yesterday's game. They've done it with an offense that's averaged 9 runs a contest here. Another 2-2 to Andres Gimenez. Drifts away and the count is full. Top of the order after him.
That's what the Blue Jays do. Runners in scoring position, nobody better. Men on base and not chasing.
With a tying run at second, nobody out. The 8th pitch, a high line drive to right field. Canzone's going back. It's gone again. It's Gimenez out of the 9th spot, sparking the Jays for the 2nd night in a row. Lightning strikes twice. A jolt from an unlikely source. 2-1 Toronto.
He got a slider middle in and he waited on it all the while trying to keep his bat back so that he could get the head out to pull it. And he did not try to do too much. That's excellent hitting again. With a man on second and nobody out, he got the double reward. He got him over and he got him in and he drove himself in.
Springer bounces to short for Crawford. It is a carbon copy of the 3rd inning from yesterday. A leadoff double from the 8-hitter. A home run from Gimenez.
This one spun. And when it spins and you see the big circle, the seams not tight together, that is a recipe for a launched baseball.
John Schneider said our whole dugout when he had that swing yesterday was like, oh, wow, I guess here we go. Gimenez is going to do it. It's all get in line. He does it again here. It's easy to forget because he struggled as much as he did during the regular season, but he was their opening day cleanup hitter. Ball and strike on Lucas. Then he got hurt. Missed a month with a quad injury. Came back from that. Missed a month with an ankle injury. And by the end of the year, Andres Gimenez was the worst hitter statistically in the American League. Woo! New season, and he's looking like a different guy here in October. Lucas on 1-2. Hits it hard. Up the middle, base hit. Another 2-strike hit for Toronto. Time for a game break. Here's Kevin Burkhardt. Yeah, there's plenty of talk about no team has repeated as champion since the Yankees at the turn of the century. Vlad Jr. scorches one into center field for a hit of his own. No team has even made it to the World Series in back-to-back years. No defending champ has made it to the World Series in back-to-back years since the Phillies 16 years ago. The Dodgers 1 win away from doing that. The Blue Jays starting to batter Luis Castillo here. Just 1 base runner the first 2 innings. This 3rd inning is looking like his 2 regular season starts.
Yeah. Rhythm hitting team. I mean, men on base, they bear down they don't try to launch the last couple hits right up the middle, taking what the pitcher gives them. And that pitch right there, center cut, and they just went right up the middle. And same thing with Vladdy.
We're talking to Luis Castillo about what his plan would be for this game, and he said the game speaks to us as pitchers, that it'd be up to me to listen and adjust. If he's listening to the game, what adjustments is he going to make here?
The biggest thing is get the ball out of the middle of the plate. He's been doing a pretty good job of going up above and down below. In and out is always the best recipe of success. But when you have a team, again, it's a broken record. You make good pitches, you're going to get outs. You don't, you're going to give up hits. And the last couple have been not good location.
Alejandro Kirk, 2 runners aboard, is ahead 2-0. And Luis Castillo had given up just 3 runs the last month. The Rock, they've always been able to rely upon. Steady in the regular season, awesome in the postseason. A 140 career postseason ERA before tonight. Over the middle, taken for a strike. Alejandro Kirk, who has 3 home runs in this postseason and just 1 strikeout. Lays off, ball 3. Wow. Lucas at first, or Lucas at second, Guerrero at first. Strike on the inside edge, and the count is full.
Same pitch as the one before, but this one he got the call. He could trust a good off-speed pitch right here. You would get a ground ball if he located it on the outer half of the plate. But I don't know after the last 2 fastballs what he's going to throw here.
Fastball misses low to load the bases. Dan Wilson, how aggressive will he be? He gave us the feeling when we talked to him before the game that he would be really aggressive. He felt like the game was hanging in the balance here, and here he comes. Going to make a change in the 3rd inning. Just a couple minutes ago, Luis Castillo was walking off of the mound with his crowd roaring after a 7-pitch first inning. Life comes at you fast in the postseason. He's got that bemused look on his face, like, no way, Skip, that you're out here to take the ball from me. And Wilson explaining himself. The night is over for Luis Castillo. It'll be up to this Mariners bullpen to carry the load in game 4. It's Andres Gimenez again making his name for Toronto in this postseason. He's flipped the score around, 2-1 Blue Jays, and they've got him loaded. Five base runners against Luis Castillo in this 3rd inning. Home run for Andres Gimenez, and you're talking about him leaving pitches over the middle. I mean, we're talking right down the middle.
Yeah, that's it. You got to get the pitch into the corners, up and down, and not in the middle against a great. I would consider Toronto Blue Jays having a couple guys that might swing up and launch angle that might miss some of those. Not many, though.
Gabe Spires, the new pitcher, on for Dalton Varsho, and he pulls in a strike. This bullpen had fired 18 consecutive scoreless innings before giving up 5 yesterday. Spire, a key piece. Retired Varsho in game 1 of this series in a 1-2-3 inning. The lefty's 0-1 is outside. Varsho 5 grand slams in his career, including one in the final week of the regular season that helped the Blue Jays spark a 4-game winning streak to win the division. Delivered a double in this same situation in this same inning yesterday.
Games 1 and 2, virtually no stress other than the first inning on the Seattle Mariners pitching staff. Games 3 and 4, tremendous stress and runners all over the place.
Spires 1-2 is ball 2. Spire gave up a couple of home runs to left-handed hitters during the division series against the Tigers. They're one of the top left-handers all season long. Here's his 2-2. Varsho breaks it foul.
Cannot left on left leave a pitch middle in. That is, for whatever reason, the lefties stay on that pitch better than anything when it's a left-handed pitcher on the mound. You've got to get it off the plate away.
Oh, came in with a fastball, fouled off.
Good. Yeah. Thank you. No, I'm good.
He's throwing hard, but he hasn't hit his spot. He hit his spot in the first pitch, and he's been missing. And so, adrenaline coming in with the bases loaded. You're trying to get a swing and miss. You still have to execute the pitch.
Bases loaded, one away. Another 2-2 pitch from Gabe Spire. Dalton Varsho takes ball 3 to run it full. Nowhere to put Varsho. Spire's payoff. Taken for ball 4. He's walked in a run, and it's 3-1 Blue Jays.
That's the tough spot about bringing in a guy with the bases loaded, not room for error, and you're hoping that he's going to be on right away. And getting 2 strikes, not being able to make that put away pitch and hit with his slider really put the Mariners in a tough spot and the reliever in an even tougher spot.
And Varsho, by the way, was 1 for 13 in his career against Luis Castillo. Clement, not close. Ball 1.
See, that's a kill pitch for him, and you've seen 2 pitches now that haven't come close on his slider, and that'll start cutting off. That'll be a pitch he'll have a hard time throwing in a crucial situation. So Blue Jays know that.
Clement, who singled his first time, hitting .481 in his postseason, breaks it foul and is down in some pain. Talking about the bullpen, dominant finish off the division series to start this championship series, but the 5 runs yesterday. Now that was with underbelly of the bullpen, pretty much staying away from their top guys because the game had gotten out of hand. Ouch. Ernie Clement, who's played most of the last 2 months with a broken hand, now has a foot to match. Pops it up. Fading towards the seats and out of play. He's got him right where he wants him, sitting with 2 strikes. One of the best 2-strike hitters out there.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Toronto's got Seattle right where they want him. Seattle's got to find a way. They cannot let this lead grow right now. I mean, this is getting to the point where you start feeling like, oh no, here we go again, because Toronto's showing no signs of slowing down at the plate.
Vlad at third, Kirk at second, Varsho at first. The 1-2 to Clement by the hands for ball 2. Well, if you had Max Scherzer staying in this game longer than Luis Castillo, you are a winner. And you might be the only one. The 2-2. Got him. Turn it up to 97 to strike out Clement.
Well, this is either going to be a game-saving at bat coming up, or a game break it open and Toronto's off to the races, because the leverage should be left on left here, 2 outs. Advantage Seattle.
Addison Barger, who the Jays are hoping found his swing with a home run last night, takes strike one. Hit it hard his first time today, but it was caught at short by Crawford. Oh, 1. Barger tries to lay off and does. Blue Jays for the second day in a row have batted around in the 3rd inning. 3 in the bank looking for more. Barger takes strike 2. One-two pitch. Spire strikes him out and strands the bases loaded. They get 3, but they leave 3. Spire comes on for Castillo. Starts a long night for the bullpen. Settle in. Game 4 of the championship series. Nine 1-2 for Seattle in this 3rd inning. Leo Rivas takes strike 1 from Max Scherzer. Rivas getting his first postseason start here. He said he had to do a double take when he saw the lineup pop up on his phone today on his way to the ballpark. He said, I'm always ready, but no, not necessarily expecting I'd find myself in there. And didn't hear from anybody on it. It was just as Tom Verducci told you, the lineup goes out in a group message. And he said, okay, ready for my chance here. Like he was in Game 5 of the division series when he came off of the bench, tied it up with a pinch hit single. He's back under the clubhouse. They're getting ready to pinch run. They called down and said, we actually need you to hit. And went up there without having taken any practice swings in like an hour. And tied the game with the biggest hit of his life.
Good news, bad news for Max. Good news, that 3-1 lead. Bad news, he had to sit there for a while.
And he starts the inning with a walk. 41 years old, things tighten up fast. Max is the oldest pitcher to start a game in the postseason in 17 years. We've got to go back to when 45-year-old Jamie Moyer started a World Series game in 2008. By the way, guess who threw out the ceremonial first pitch tonight?
Probably the same speed he threw it out in the World Series game.
It was Jamie Moyer. Strikeout of Rosarena.
This is the guy. I thought the home run yesterday might get him going a little bit. This is the guy the Mariners got to get going at the top of the lineup.
To left center field. Lucas makes the catch. So 1 gone in this 3rd inning. Speaking of age, Aaron Rodgers also at the age of 41, the oldest active player in the NFL. Joe Flacco's back in business. Starting on Thursday Night Football, he's already got 2 touchdown passes. Rodgers with 1 as they go head to head. Scherzer in his 18th year. Faces Cal Raleigh, home run champion, represents the tying run and takes downstairs. 60 during the regular season, 3 in this postseason after he went deep last night. Bonds, McGuire, Sosa, Judge, Dumper. Guys with 63 home runs in a year. Bottom of the zone strike.
Well, he'll remind the umpire about that strike while he's catching if he doesn't get it.
Three hits in this series. 2 of them have been homers. Toss over to first in a close play. Glad saying he wants him to take a look. Ooh, he might have a case.
It's going to be whether or not the dirt between the hand and the base.
Max Scherzer has not picked anybody off in 9 years.
Mike just got his first in a while.
Leo Rivas getting his first postseason start. He's a guy that they love because they know they can trust him. They know they can count on him to do the little things, but he's going to find himself picked off base with Raleigh at the plate as the tying run. Replay review presented by Zoom. The fans here know it. Seeing it on the beautiful video board out in center field. They got as good of a look as you can get. That's some angst that you hear, but it's also some cheering that you hear. There are a fair amount of Blue Jays fans in here. Maybe not what it normally is during the regular season. And they'll often take over this ballpark. But we're noticing looking around before the game, there's quite a bit of blue down there.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is out, and Toronto will retain their count.
So Rivas picked off first base, and the base is wiped clean. Extra big time to do it with Raleigh at the plate. The 1-1 from Scherzer. Fouls off a fastball that was on a T form. That's one I would like to have back. Here comes the 1-2. Raleigh tries to lay off, but he went around strike 3. Max Scherzer's first strikeout of the game comes against Cal Raleigh. He picks a man off. He's doing things he hadn't done in a decade. Throwing back tonight in his first postseason start for the Jays.
Welcome back to Seattle. We're here with Blue Jays manager John Schneider. John, you told us before the game that Andres Jimenez seems a little bit more engaged playing shortstop instead of Bo Bichette rather than his normal position of second base. What is the difference you're seeing in him offensively?
Man, he's just taking really aggressive swings right now. You know, I think understanding what the situation's calling for, even the balls he was fouling off there at that AB, just trying to get Izzy over and not giving in to what the situation was. But he's definitely had some really good intent with his swings for the past couple weeks.
How would you assess Max Scherzer so far?
So far, so good. You know, I think he came out strong. Good velo, good stuff. I think the changeup to Naylor was almost too hard, to be honest with you, and just was up a little bit. But I think he's handling everything really well. I like the velo with the fastball for sure. And you got to trust him to make big pitches, like right there to Cal, you know. Great pickoff, too, from the old man, as we talked about, first one in 9 years. But I think that his stuff is where it should be. And he always has the ability to kind of adjust what he's doing as the game goes.
John, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, now it's up to John Schneider to decide how long to ride that and when to try to get ahead of a downfall.
The difference is the Seattle Mariners don't have the same offensive approach as the Toronto Blue Jays. And what I mean by that, they've yet to show that they can string 3-4 hits together. They're looking for the long ball, so they got to create the stress on Scherzer by getting on base earlier in the game and in the inning to make it as tough as possible, because right now Toronto has shown this movie before. When they get going, they stay going.
1-2 on Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Started last inning with a double. This 1-2, he pops it foul out of play. The double for Kiner-Falefa was his first hit of this postseason. Santander off of the roster. That lower back issue just became too much. And so Barger moves out to right field. Clement moves over to third, and Kiner-Falefa finds himself in the lineup at second. Another 1-2. Check swing foul. Back with the Blue Jays, signed a 2-year contract with them last year, but then they traded him away to Pittsburgh. A year later, acquired right back by Toronto. Now here's the roster move, the official move. Santander removed, and Joey Loperfido added to the roster. Really good defensive outfielder.
It's almost as if you are pitching in Coors Field when you're facing the Toronto Blue Jays. In Coors Field, it's hard to get 3 outs in an inning. Against the Blue Jays, it's hard to get easy outs. They make you work. They foul off pitches.
Flied into center field. Rodriguez charges on, and it dunks in, a base hit. There's another example. Connor Falefa fouls off good pitch after good pitch and then flexes a base hit into right center. And the bottom of the order trying to do it again. The 8 hitters aboard to lead things off. Andres Jimenez comes up. A little deja vu going. 3rd inning yesterday after a leadoff double. He hit his first home run of the postseason. And a guy who had 7 all year has 2 in as many days here in Seattle.
Crazy. And now he bunts.
That's more what he's known for. Suarez throws him out. Into scoring position goes Connor Falefa. And Jimenez making all the winning plays.
Blue Jays can get a bunch of 2-strike hits. They can get a bunch of foul balls. And what they don't do is usually get a bunch of strikeouts.
Only 3 of them today.
4 2-strike hits.
More 2-strike hits than strikeouts. Connor Falefa's in scoring position. Springer's up. And he takes inside, ball 1. Matt Brash is ready to go in the Seattle bullpen. They try to navigate their way through this game. Bryce Miller will be the guy tomorrow. Brian Wu we've seen down there stirring a little bit. We'll see if we see him tonight or tomorrow. Yanked to left field. That's headed for the corner. Extra bases for George Springer. Connor Falefa's in to score, and it's 4-1 Jays.
Make it look simple. They do it better than most.
Get him on, get him over, get him in. Again, it's the bottom of the order that sets things up. Still just 1 away. Nathan Lucas to the plate. Springer tied with Jorge Polanco for the most extra base hits in the league. That's almost 2 months. And really all year, George Springer has been an incredible spark for this Blue Jays team. After hitting .220 last year, .309 this year, 32 home runs, statistically the most improved hitter in baseball. We were talking with John Schneider about that, about him bouncing back, and he said, yeah, we thought that he would respond after his career worst year last year, but no way in heck that anybody saw this kind of turnaround coming. This is as good of a year as he has had since early on in his career in Houston. At the age of 36. At the age of 36.
We talked about 2 of the most electrifying crowds getting zapped so far in Toronto and here in Seattle so far in these first 2 games.
Chopped to short. Crawford Well, 2019, 2023, and the 2025 postseasons have a couple of things in common. Number one, road dominance. 2019, the road team won every game in the World Series. 2023, the Rangers 11-0 in their run to the championship, and then this year almost unbeaten in the championship series. The other thread between those 3 seasons is Max Scherzer, who was on the Nationals in 19, the Rangers in 23. He has a championship ring that says road on it, and he's trying to keep that thread going tonight, trying to keep on dominating on the road. That's it for Spire. Brash is coming into a 4-1 game. Coming up tomorrow, we'll be back here in Seattle for Game 5, Blue Jays and Mariners. Coverage starts at 5 o'clock Eastern, right here on FS1. And then the National League Championship Series continues. The Dodgers looking for the sweep over on TBS. 4-1, Toronto's in front. 2 gone for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Matt Brash is on to face him, and his first pitch misses away. 5 2/3 in this postseason, just 1 run allowed by Brash.
He's got a great slider against right-handed batters.
In the dirt right here, Springer comes home, and it's 5-1. Everything going Toronto's way.
Well, unfortunately, it was that pitch that cost him the run, but this is tremendous break, but he spikes it.
Matt Brash didn't have a wild pitch all year. Bad time for his first right there. There's that slider doing what he wants.
Man.
Has not given up a hit on that slider in this postseason. Fastballs poked to deep right field. Canzone over to the corner. He's there. And that's the inning. But after the 3-run third, they get 2 more in the 4th. Welcome back to Seattle, where the Mariners got on the board first with a Josh Naylor home run in the 2nd inning. That is all. It's the only hit against Max Scherzer. Well, the Blue Jays offense has again come out firing. 3 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 4th. Rodriguez leads off and takes a strike from Scherzer. I think he probably is already deeper into this game than a lot of people thought he would go, given how he would look down the stretch, giving up a run per inning in September.
Yeah, well, this is a must-score inning for the Seattle Mariners, and they're starting to feel. I mean, you never admit it, but they're starting to feel like this team offensively is way better than we've shown and what we're capable of, and they have to get back in this game right here because Max Scherzer has been given an extra dose of adrenaline with this lead.
You said velocity was not going to be any issue for him.
No.
Pete Walker, the pitching coach, was saying that he hoped that it would be 93 to 95, and it's been 94, 95. Fresh.
But the big thing for me is he's been able to spin his curveball in key moments. He has 3 walks, but he's made pitches when he needed to when runners were on base.
1-2 to Rodriguez. Breaking ball and a beauty. That looks like the old Scherzer, spinning that curveball in there to strike out Rodriguez.
And that would have been the only concern I had for a guy who hadn't pitched in over a month, and he's gotten better as the game's gone on, separating his velocity with a change of speed, whether it's the changeup or this breaking ball.
Polanco on a first pitch changeup, pops it back and out of play. Are you saying, you know, that fastball velocity's probably going to be up. He's going to be cranked up fresh and with the crowd, but does he have the other stuff? Because it's going to be hard on him to compete. He just got 1 pitch. He's had them all working.
He has. And the fact that he's got that lead really helps and creates a bonus situation for John Snyder. And he's not going to come out and say, like, yeah, I'd love for him to go only 4 innings. But the reality of what they're facing and what this game is providing is now giving him more room to let him go longer into the game.
Oh, no.
On paper, it's the biggest starting pitching mismatch you could ever have. Luis Castillo was the best pitcher in baseball last month. Max Scherzer was the worst. One, two to Polanco is hooked in the air to right field. Easy one for Addison Barger. 2 gone in the 4th. Now, John Schneider said you face Max Scherzer, it's tough, and then you get him on your team, and being the manager in the dugout, you watch him coming off of the field. He said it's like there's a caged animal coming at you with 2 different colored eyes. You got to learn how to process that. That it took him a minute to get used to everything that being Max Scherzer's manager comes with.
Mannerisms, Max.
Oh, man. Good TV. 2 outs. Naylor, the man that took him deep, pokes it foul. First conversation John Schneider had with Max Scherzer after they signed him this offseason. Max said, look, I'm a manager on the mound. I know what my pitch count is. I know what our bullpen situation is. I know what their pitcher's pitch count is. I know what their bullpen situation is. And John's like, yeah, okay. Take it all with a grain of salt. Sounds like bluster. Said then he gets here and the season starts and he says, yeah, this guy really does know all that stuff. He is in tune with everything. And John said he kind of braced himself for it to be a challenging thing to manage Max Scherzer, but that it's been something that he has loved doing.
Yeah, he said he knows his body. He's been honest with us.
Here he comes with an 0-2. Punch left side and through, and Naylor's got both hits for Seattle.
He's a different hitter. He would fit really well on the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah. Well, he will be a free agent at the end of the season, but they got a pretty good first baseman over there on Toronto. Suarez. Man, would they love for Eugenio Suarez to run into one, as he did 49 times during the regular season. But in this postseason, below 150.
Yeah, really swinging up. Like he would have to get a hanging breaking ball or a bell-tie fastball, but he is really trying to lift the baseball up in the air.
Max is saying, I got a sweet pickoff move. He just flipped it on. He picked off Leo Rivas last inning, his first pickoff in 9 years. Here's his 0-1 to Suarez.
Oh, no.
Went around, strike 2.
Yeah, I mean, he's in hit mode and swing mode, and right here Max is disciplined enough and smart enough to not throw him another strike.
You don't have to throw it close.
No, I mean, anything off the plate, he's going to try to go for it.
Bottom of the order. This is low stress. Suarez, Canzone, Crawford, Rivas tonight. Scherzer's 1-2 pitch. Got him, and Mad Max is turning back the clock tonight. Just 1 run over 4 innings. His first start in 3 weeks. Storms off of the mound, feeling himself. Where it is 5-1 Toronto. Alejandro Kirk leads off against Matt Brash. 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth for the Jays. And 18 runs in the game and a half here. Brash already the second man out of the Mariners bullpen.
He's going wiffle balls.
Yeah. A 3 1/3 for Luis Castillo tonight. A bounce to short for Crawford. There's some good defense in this ball game. One away in the 5th. Your team, your players, your postseason. Follow all the postseason action. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Here's Varsho.
The problem that the Seattle Mariners have right now is they're trying to obviously keep the game as close as they can, so they're going to use some leverage pitchers. But at some point, if they don't get close enough, then that decision has to be measured by what they have left, and tomorrow being that game that becomes super important.
That was one thing the Dodgers last year we were talking earlier about how their starting pitching struggled as Varsho flies this ball into right center field for Rodriguez. Dave Roberts would wave the white flag pretty quickly in some of those games, lose the battle to win the war.
Yeah, and you know, postseason magnifies that, of course, and the score kind of drives a lot of decisions when you have to play in a series that matters as much as this one.
Two up and two down in this 5th inning. Here's Ernie Clement. Bouncing the ball to short. This will be a quick inning from Matt Brash. Halfway home in game 4. The Jays 5, the Mariners 1.
From the offseason all the way through, all the sacrifices you make, just for this moment, just for a chance to be able to go out there and compete, and we can win another series. We're going to a World Series, so that's every kid's dream.
It remains a dream even for a guy who has been there and won it twice. Max Scherzer, champion with the Nationals in 2019, champion again with the Rangers in 2023, and here in his 18th year at the age of 41, he's into the 5th inning, having given up just 1 run against the Seattle team. It's one of the top offenses in baseball down the stretch this year. Dominic Canzone leads off, rolls this one towards the middle and through. He got to a changeup and got his first hit of this series. Leadoff man on for Seattle. Let's go down to Tom Verducci.
It's just been remarkable to see Max Scherzer have the curveball he has tonight after not pitching a competitive game for 22 days. By percentage, it's his 4th pitch, but tonight it's been dynamic. Through 4 innings, already more swings and misses on the curveball than he's had in any game this year. They've swung 7 times, they missed 4 times at it.
The league hit .370 against that pitch this year with damage.
Yeah, and it just didn't, you know, watching film, he just didn't have the tilt. And part of that can be because of his injury on the upper body of his neck and shoulder, because you've got to be able to finish that pitch. He is a almost violent finisher of his top half of his body, because his head does something you would never teach. It looks almost back to second base when he delivers home. So finishing a pitch is so important to the style that he pitches with. Kind of a low 3/4 shot put fastball, and then breaking ball off of that gives the built-in change speeds.
Here's this 1-1 to J.P. Crawford. That's high and inside for a ball.
When he goes forward in out of the stretch, you can see where his head goes more on plane. That's one pitch that won't allow him to really look back, but on a fastball, he's going to get that head going down and left. And in the first inning, he didn't have that command. And since then, he's been, as we showed you, getting ahead of hitters and making pitches. And you know he wants to get through 5.
John Schneider's favorite guy down there, Louis Varland, warms as Crawford flies his 3-1 pitch to center field. Had him on the ropes a little bit right there, and then a fly out to center for the first out. So Scherzer, you go back to 2019, the last time that he won a game in the postseason, that was game 1, and we're talking all about his neck and his shoulder and how violent that delivery is. He wakes up game 7, morning of game 7 in 2019, and he can't move his neck. That violent delivery had done it again to him, and he still gutted it out. 5 innings in that game, just 2 runs as the Nationals won game 7. Rivas with 1 away, and it's what was bothering him down the stretch this year, the neck in the upper back. They're 3 weeks off, just what the doctor ordered. And here he is in the 5th inning with 1 away, facing the 9-hitter Rivas, who walked the first time he saw him and then was picked off first base.
Hurry!
This is a 1-year contract that Scherzer's on with the Blue Jays. 18th season, no guarantees beyond this. Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, guarantee on that.
3 Cy Youngs, 3,000 strikeouts, those 2 World Series rings, 2 no-hitters. 500th start of his career tonight. Ball 3 on Rivas, top of the order after him. May be his last hitter here. Rivas to right center field. Barger on the run, makes the catch. His first time in right field in a month, and Addison Barger covers ground and makes the catch.
Good angle, and the ball started curving back to him.
Scherzer in a stare down right here with John Schneider as he comes out with a Rosarena coming up. Scherzer 1 out away from qualifying for his first win in the postseason in 6 years. And he sends him back to the dugout. Wow.
He was just going to do a quick word with him anyway. Say, hey, man, you got 1 more hitter. And that's basically what it boils down to. I'll look for a Rosarena to be real aggressive here on the first pitch. But it's not close.
Max sure doesn't think he's coming out there to say you get 1 more hitter. Here's his 1-0 pitch. At the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scherzer to Rosarena. Sticking with a fastball. Ahead 1-2. And normally Rosarena is so aggressive, and it's fastballs that he punishes. Home run last night, but still looks in between. Scherzer's 1-2 pitch. Curve strikes him out. Max Scherzer defying father time. His 500th career start at the age of 41. Nobody giving him a chance. He says, I'm staying in, Skip. You get out of here. Rewards his trust with a strikeout of a Rosarena. He's gone 5 in Game 4. Call to the bullpen is sponsored by AT&T. Gives you a bit of a glimpse into what the strategy will be here as Addison Barger launches a ball left center field, and it's up against the wall. Here's a Rosarena's throw, not in time. Barger's got a double on the first pitch of the inning, thrown by Carlos Vargas. And the point I was starting to make is when we're talking about Dan Wilson, does he go with his highest leverage guys or not? This is the other side of that. Carlos Vargas, somebody he would bring in a game where he's saying, I'm not going to chase them.
Yeah, and it was really the point I was trying to make with the Seattle offense, or lack of it. That is just the fact. I mean, you're chasing something that typically is not in your advantage, but until you score some runs, you can't change the fact that the Blue Jays have dictated the tempo. They've taken the crowd out, and they just are swinging the bats like we saw in the first series.
They've got 5 runs on 8 hits, which includes a 2-run home run. It also includes a sacrifice bunt. Connor Falefa is up there trying to give him another, but he bunts through it. And 1-1. It has been a well-rounded offensive machine. There have been games where they've disappeared, but for the most part, they've had it all. Bunted foul, strike 2. The new hitting coach, David Popkins. Yeah, what a important piece he's been to this whole thing. Seems like every conversation we have with John Schneider, he brings up Popkins' name. Kind of fell off, his swings away. It's a swinging bunt. He's telling Barger get to third, but Barger stays put at second, and Vargas throws to first to get him.
You don't see that very often.
That's what I was trying to do when I was bunting. Max Scherzer, 5 innings. Whether Schneider was going out there to take him out or not, he was fighting to stay in. And gives up just 1 run, 4 strikeouts, all on the curveball, tying a career high. Jimenez, who's got another home run tonight, takes high. One ball, 1 strike. Scherzer threw 9 curveballs. Seattle swung it all 9, even though only 2 of them were in the strike zone. Chase after chase after chase. Down the left field line. Suarez on the run, not going to get there. And we go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, the players in the Blue Jays dugout were smiling, laughing, roaring about Max Scherzer's stare down, yell down, whatever you want to call it, of John Schneider. Schneider walked by and said, "I've been waiting for that all year."
That's awesome. This is a guy who treats bullpen sessions during the regular season like it's Game 7 of the World Series. It's a guy who once broke his nose during BP when he was trying to bunt, and the next day went out with a black and blue face and fired 7 shutout innings. Mad Max on the postseason stage again. It's as good as postseason and baseball TV gets, watching him do his thing.
Listen, we talked about it before. It wasn't going to be the case of the fastball that was going to get him. It was whether or not he had his secondary pitches. And boy, oh boy, did he, at the right time in the right counts. And really, the lead helps get that feeling of a pitcher who knows when he's got a victory or a lead, how he's going to protect it.
Ought to be in a close play at first there, but Naylor beats Jimenez to the bag, 2 away. Barger to third. Springer to the plate. Nobody warming in the Blue Jays bullpen. Could it be Scherzer back out there for a 6th inning? Springer fouls the first pitch off. No, 5-1 lead at this point. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Mariners. Scherzer at 74 pitches. Again, hasn't pitched in 3 weeks, but just last week threw a 95-pitch sin game. Runner at third, 2 out, 2-1. Line drive center field right at Rodriguez. Hardly has to move. The Blue Jays unable to take advantage of the leadoff double. Is Scherzer coming back out there for a 6th inning of work? Max Scherzer, who was drafted 19 years ago by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks were worried this violent delivery wouldn't be able to hold up, so they traded him to the Detroit Tigers. 3 years after that, he had won the first of his 3 Cy Young Awards. 175 strikeouts in his postseason career, climbing the all-time list. 4 of them tonight. And into the 6th inning he goes in search of his first win in 6 years. Cal Raleigh leads off, 2, 3, and 4 for the Mariners. Home run in the 2nd inning from Josh Naylor. Just 2 hits outside of that. And here's a high fly ball to right field. Easy one for Addison Barger. 1 away in the 6th. Rodriguez to the plate. Walk in the first inning, strikeout in the fourth for Rodriguez. We were talking to John Schneider a few days ago about managing in the postseason, and he told us that he's lost about a month worth of sleep thinking about postseason failures over the first few years of his managerial career, because he thought that he got too tied to a formula. He said, I was gripping that wheel so tight that he told himself this year he was going to do a better job of trusting his eyes. And look, when you break everything down coming into this game, all the numbers and what you think this would be, you would never have Max Scherzer going into the sixth inning. That requires watching what you're seeing today, and that is Scherzer defying everything you figured would unfold. Schneider rolling with him into the sixth, and he strikes out Rodriguez on another breaking pitch. All 5 of his Ks have come on spin.
Well, he's in rhythm now, and so when you see a pitcher in rhythm and he's had the success knowing how to limit damage, he's making it happen.
Do you think he's allowing himself to enjoy this and have any fun in this?
Oh,
or
yeah.
is he too?
No, he's locked in, and the fun part is staying locked in. You know, that's the part where you just enjoy your craft by executing, and it's all about executing.
Jorge Polanco, bases empty, 2 away, swings and misses over another curve. Scherzer's going to go as far as that pitch will take him, riding it tonight. Not a pitch we've seen him lean on in recent years. Hit hard here in his 18th year. Reborn tonight. His 0-2 pitch. Doing it against the Seattle lineup that was the #1 offense in baseball down the stretch. And a home run machine in this postseason. For the same reason that you looked and said, oh boy, what's this going to look like? 3 weeks off. Scherzer fresh as can be. He fires 1-2. Three and 2 on Polanco. Naylor waits on deck. He's got 2 of the 3 hits in this game for Seattle, including the home run. Scherzer trying to finish the job right here. Payoff. Spoiled.
Well, for Max Scherzer, he's elevated his fastball and made it a real pitch, and they've got to respect it. And then he changes speeds and location with his breaking ball. So when you think up with a fastball, you get the bat head out, and then all of a sudden you get that breaking ball, and the hitters have not recognized where that release point's coming from, and swinging at the secondary pitch.
Home with another 3-2, and it's inside for ball 4. So the 4th walk that he's issued is going to be the end of his night. Instead of letting him face Josh Naylor again, John Schneider's out there to make a change. Max Scherzer 5 2/3. What a night. Scherzer take a bow. Game 4, the American League Championship Series, in position to win his first postseason game in 6 years. Mason Fluharty take over with 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th. Fluharty's on for Josh Naylor. He's got 2 of the 3 hits for the Mariners in this game. And could cut this deficit in half if you could go deep right here. Fluharty, the 24-year-old rookie. Delivers 1-0. Ball 2 on Naylor. The last 5 games, Josh Naylor has gone 3 hits, no hits, 3 hits, no hits, and now tonight, 2 hits. On a 2-0 pitch, swings and misses.
So what you're saying is he's going to get 3 hits today.
Way out, 1 more. It's been a lot or nothing. Polanco's 2-out walk has extended the inning and finished off Max Scherzer's night. 2-1 from Fluharty to Naylor in the dirt, ball 3.
Well, Naylor's got to sit on a middle in fastball right here. And if it's not there, let it go. Try to get Suarez up to the plate against the lefty.
The death stare. The one blue eye, the one brown eye. 3-1 from Fluharty.
All 4.
Taken downstairs. Fluharty gets squeezed on that breaking pitch. Yeah, and the Mariners building something here with 2 gone.
Been waiting for a big moment out of Suarez. He hasn't had a ton of them with Seattle. This would go a long way. This crowd is trying their best to get their team to do something to get back in this game.
They erupted in the first inning yesterday. Julio Rodriguez put him in front with a 2-run home run. They've been outscored 18-3 since. First one to Suarez. A strike with a cutter. Punches a base hit the other way. Polanco heads for the plate. Barger's got a cannon. His throw goes to third in time, but the run scores.
Wow, you cannot get thrown out at third there.
Addison Barger, one of the strongest arms in baseball. He averages 96 miles per hour with his throws from the outfield. He cuts down Naylor at third, but a 2-out base hit from Suarez brings in Polanco to make it 5-2. The 2025 American League Championship Series on FS1 presented by Loan Depot. Edward Bizardo comes into the games. Perhaps the Mariners getting a run there in the 6th has shifted the strategy a little bit. Bizardo, one of their top arms down in the pen. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Jays here. Strike 1 from Bizardo. Pitched in all 5 games during the division series. Finished it off by going 2 2/3 in game 5. And then pitched 2 innings in the second game of this championship series. Ahead of Lucas, 0-2. Bizardo's 0-2. Soft bouncing ball to second. Rivas will get him. So Seattle adds a run, makes it 5-2, but Naylor gets thrown out at third.
Yeah.
Instead of them having the tying run coming to the plate, the inning ends.
There's no way you can do this The only time you do this is if you think the runner at home might be thrown out and you force the throw to third. But with 2 outs and down by that many runs, you just cannot get thrown out at third.
Addison Barger getting his first start in the outfield in a month. He has touched 100 with a throw from the outfield this year. And he cuts down Naylor at third. 1 ball and strike on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 5-2 game here in the 7th. Jays getting 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Guerrero drives the ball the other way. Canzone's going back. He's at the wall. It's gone. Vlad Jr. strikes again with his 5th home run of the postseason. Toronto takes the run right back. That's what he does when he's at his best. Hits it hard the other way.
Yeah, he doesn't do too much, and that's what makes him such an elite hitter. And if you try to pull this pitch, it's an out.
Second in the game for the Blue Jays. 7th in the 2 games here in Seattle for him. That's now 5 home runs and 11 knocked in 8 games this postseason. For a guy who had 0 postseason track record. He had a postseason track record, but there was very little good. The lasting memory really of his first 3 trips to the postseason was him getting picked off second base with a tying run at the plate in Minnesota. Well, he has flipped a switch. Soon as it turned to October after a rough September, the postseason backdrop of struggles, what a monster he's been. 2-2 on Kirk. Woo! Well, start your Saturday strong with Big Noon. Explosive duo Bryce Underwood and Justice Haynes leading Michigan against UW. All starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Big Noon kickoff will be live on location from Provo, Utah. Then it's Huskies Wolverines only on Fox. Kirk's down on strikes. And his 2nd strikeout of this postseason. As we look back at the home runs from Guerrero.
Yeah, just a flat swing, ball away. And he kind of knows it. He hit it good and hit it far enough.
It's a new Blue Jays record for a postseason. 5 home runs. I hope they got that jacket fitted in his size because he's put it on more than anybody. And he needs some good dry cleaning. And if the Jays can hold on to this lead, they can use their own dry cleaners at home.
Well, they know they win this game, they're guaranteed, right? So they knew coming in, hey, we've won 2 out of 3 before. Matter of fact, we've swept them here in the regular season. And the mindset of a team, it only takes something to twist and turn. And Jimenez's 2-run homer will go down as probably the biggest moment if they are flipping this series when they were down 2-0, trying to do what the New York Yankees did in '96.
Yeah, and I know that keeps coming up as they try to do it for the first time since that Yankees team did it to your club. If you're the Mariners sitting here and you're now looking over your shoulder and suddenly they're right next to you looking at 2-2, what lessons could you pass on from having it not ended the way you want?
Well, the biggest thing is, you know, when the series starts, you had to do something to take care of home field advantage, right? So typically you lose the first 2 on home, you win your next 2, and you win. You kind of convince yourself, if we win tomorrow, we did home field advantage. We just got to steal one on the road.
6-2, middle 7. For what the players are wearing on field during the postseason, check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Go to MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason team gear. Blue Jays up 6-2. Louis Varland comes in and gets a swing and a miss from Dominic Canzone. He has been John Schneider's favorite guy. 8th game of the postseason for the Blue Jays, his 7th appearance.
100 miles an hour.
Canzone chops it to second. Canzone throws him out. The road team doing it again, trying to remain perfect in this series. When you include the regular season matchups between these teams, if the score holds here, the road team will be 9-1.
Been doing this a long time, and I thought we saw a one and only a couple years ago, and now it's becoming more normal than not, where teams don't win a home game and win a World Series.
Crawford pokes the ground to short, picked up by Jimenez. 2 up and 2 down. We're talking about the 19 World Series where the road team won all 7 games. Nationals winning Game 7. 2023, the Texas Rangers finished off their regular season here in Seattle and then traveled down to Tampa Bay, traveled across the country, won the wild card round in Tampa Bay, traveled up to Baltimore, won a bunch of road games there, bounced all over the country. By the time it was said and done, they had won 11 of 11 on the road.
That's just so incredible.
Outside ball one on Rivas. They have on those championship rings the first letter of the teams that they beat along the way. Rays, Orioles, Astros, Diamondbacks. R-O-A-D.
See where you're going with that.
Yeah. What are the chances?
You did a little acronym there, didn't you?
I did. Stole it from their ring, though. They deserve no credit. Rivas in the air to right field. Barger on the run, makes a diving catch. And Addison Barger having the time of his life out there roaming right field. He's got an outfield assist. He's got a diving play. The guy that grew up dreaming of being the next Ichiro, doing his best impression in Seattle. Well, the Blue Jays are down 2-0 coming here to this cauldron of a ballpark, revved up. John Schneider said business as usual. And here they are on the verge of tying this series up at 2 games apiece. Emerson Hancock comes on to pitch, misses with his first one to Ernie Clement. Hancock came out of the bullpen in Game 2, pitched around a few walks to put up 2 scoreless innings. And since moving to the bullpen about a month ago, 11 2/3 in a row without giving a run up. Through the left side and a base hit for Clement. Second of the day for Ernie. Down to Tom Verducci.
Well, Joe, as you know, the Blue Jays got here down 2-0 and gave the ball to 2 Cy Young Award winners, neither of whom had pitched much this year, less than 100 innings. Shane Bieber, coming off Tommy John surgery. Max Scherzer, all kinds of ailments you might expect from someone at 41 years old. Both came up aces. I know we love to talk about the unlikely heroes of October, but there is still plenty of room in October for playoff experience and professional pride.
Yeah, and they kept on talking about the word trust. John Schneider said a guy, I don't care what he's been through the last month, when he's been through everything that he has through those 30 postseason games, pitching with a sore neck, Game 7 of the World Series, all those experiences he's layered, can't help but trust the person.
No, exactly. But I'll tell you what really helps. Their offense getting 5 runs and making decisions easier. Their offense is doing everything you could want for a manager that trusts his offense, and then he can make decisions to leave a guy in and do the things that that guy's known for. If it's a 2-1 baseball game, it's a different stress level and a different decisions that he's got to make. Because remember, he had the bullpen up earlier in the game, but then Toronto opened it up and he gave a longer leash to Max. Max did an incredible job tonight, and that's not to be understated after not pitching in a month.
3 balls, 1 strike on Addison Barger, who's made a couple fantastic defensive plays and doubled. Now he fouls this one off. Kenny, this has been quite a thing to watch for Max Scherzer.
Absolutely, Joe. And Max has had some memorable performances in his career. The 2 no-hitters in 2015, the 20 strikeout game in 2016, and we've talked about Game 7 in 2019 in the World Series. With the neck spasms, he gutted through 5 innings. But this is 6 years later. With all the layoffs that he's had here, the inconsistencies, the injuries, this performance has to rank right up there with one of the more defining moments of his career.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, you know, as the years go by when Max looks back, because it's not always, you know, the perfect game or the no-hitter or the championship clinching game. I know that stand out as Miles Straw is going to pinch run right here. Stand out as the ones that are the most meaningful to you guys. A lot of times it's those ones in between where you find a way.
I mean, the biggest thing is, look, there were no guarantees. They did not put him on the roster in the first round. They put him on the roster for this round and envisioned a scenario where maybe they were up when he was pitching. They were down 2-1, and so he knew the magnitude of this game. And the past doesn't guarantee the future, but one thing that Max knows how to do is prepare for a start. He did that in that time off, and the health showed up today. It showed up in his pitches, and he delivered.
Connor Falefa is up there trying to bunt. This time he lays it down. He was unable to do that his last time. Second successful sacrifice of the game for the Jays. And now we get a quick word from FanDuel.
Make baseball come alive when you bet live this season with FanDuel.
Second and third for Andres Gimenez. Scherzer's already made his name. He's just stirring up those echoes tonight. Andres Gimenez, the last 2 nights, has made a name for himself. 2-run home runs in both games here. First time that he's homered in back-to-back games in 3 years. Back to when he was an all-star in Cleveland. Hit close to 300. Sapped by injuries this year. Up the middle he goes. He's knocked in another. Straw retreated. Now he's going to head for the plate. Here comes the throw from Rodriguez. It's not in time. 2-run single for Andres Gimenez, and he's knocked in 4 of Toronto's 8.
These last 2 games have been a clinic. How to hit with runners on.
Springer. Bottom of the order has been a massive discrepancy between these 2 teams. You got the Jays getting it done again with the bottom of the order tonight. 6 through 9, 5 runs scored. The 4 runs batted in from Gimenez. Bottom of the order for the Mariners in this series, hitting 159. Both these teams came in touting lineup depth. Blue Jays proved it with the batting average, with the runs scored throughout the year. Mariners showed it down the stretch. Depth has not shown up in this championship series. Very top heavy. Two-two to Springer is a breaking pitch that's lofted fouling out of play. MLB Together is baseball's platform embodying the sport's commitment to philanthropic causes and mental wellness efforts by teams, players, and the league. To learn more, please visit MLBtogether.com. Another 2-2 coming from Hancock to Springer. After he takes time. bouncer up the middle. Rivas steps on the bag over to first but late. And a quick message from Adobe. Well, the Mariners tomorrow are going to hand the ball to Bryce Miller, who was awesome in the first game of this series.
He was, but he's watched 2 games of his teammates having a hard time putting away hitters and making enough quality pitches to get the crooked number. I said it in the beginning, solo home runs are not going to beat you, but crooked numbers are devastating. You get a 3 spot that gets you the lead, and then you put up a couple more, and they just keep coming, and it's tough to slow down.
Jeff Hoffman's ready,
but he showed he could do it, so the formula is there.
Kevin Gausman on the other side. That game 1 matchup is the only tight game in this series. Went 3-1 Seattle. Since then, a 7-run win for the Mariners, a 9-run win for the Blue Jays, and now a 6-run lead for the Blue Jays. Come on, boys, give us some drama. Give us some tension.
Oh, there's going to be drama. That 7th game, possibly.
Yeah. Starting to look more and more like it could be headed in that direction. It's almost a certainty that it's headed back to Toronto. There goes Springer from first. He's going to get second either way because it's ball 4. Now Nathan Lucas. Well, Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Blue Jays are trying to get to the World Series for the first time in 32 years. Back-to-back titles in 1992, 1993. The Mariners, of course, have never been. This is the 3rd time that they've been within 2 wins. 95 and in 2001 went to the championship series, got the 2 wins in both of those series. They never, though, had it like this, where they were up 2-0, all the momentum coming back home. That's gone. Guerrero again the other way. Canzone will get to this one to finish off the top of the 8th. His best of 7 is on the verge of becoming a best of 3. Max Scherzer and the Blue Jays machine of an offense with an 8-2 lead. Top of the Seattle order here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Long way to go for them, though. Down 6 and only 6 outs with which to work. Randy Arozarena, 0 for 3 today. Takes a strike from Jeff Hoffman. Toronto closer. Scoreless inning, game 1 of this series. 32-year-old from New York spikes this one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good opportunity to get some work. Going to need him if Toronto wins this series, you would think, unless they continue to just make it blowouts.
Putting those managers in the rocking chair. Hoffman was an all-star last year in Philadelphia. 3-year contract with the Blue Jays. Gets his fastball by Arozarena, 2-2. Arozarena 0 for 3 today, down to 162 in the playoffs. Such a streaky hitter, has been ice cold at the wrong time. Oh, 1 gone in this 8th inning. We take a look at the Fox Foresight powered by Google Cloud. Well, the last time the Mariners had a game with the top 4 in the lineup went hitless more than a year ago. You've got to go back to last July. And Google's given him a 56% chance to avoid that fate. Raleigh, who's 0 for 2, takes down.
Oh.
Pop up. Clement. 2 out. Well, we're talking about the old guys. Here I am all afraid of turning 40. I heard that it's terrible, and then I look and see this, and I can't wait.
Yeah. I've already passed that way by.
These guys are saying you shouldn't fear it. 6 touchdown passes between Rodgers and Flacco combined tonight. Max Scherzer at the age of 41. 5 2/3 innings. Strike on Julio Rodriguez. Got a long way before he's got to worry about 40. '24-year-old. Well, tomorrow we're going to be asking the same questions we were about the Blue Jays yesterday about the Mariners. Who's going to be that guy to jolt them back?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it starts on the mound because hitting changes significantly when you're down 4 or 5 runs. And you can't just power your way back into it unless you get some runners on base and create stress for the other team. And right now, Toronto's creating all the stress.
So that first jolt has to come from Bryce Miller.
Yes, it does.
6 innings in the first game. Dan Wilson had said the plan was to get about 4 from him. He was coming off short rest. Strike 3 called on Rodriguez. A 1-2-3 8th inning for Jeff Hoffman with bookend strikeouts. Coming up when we finish, stay tuned for the postgame show on FS1 with Kevin Burkhardt, Alex Rodriguez, Big Papi David Ortiz, and Derek Jeter, presented by Strauss. 8-2, Blue Jays ahead, on the verge of tying this series up at 2 games apiece. Alejandro Kirk leads off against Emerson Hancock. This is a Mariners team that came into these 2 games here, not just with a 2-0 series lead, but having won 22 of their last 28 games back to the start of September. As hot as any team in baseball, right there with the Dodgers, pulling away from everybody else. Starting to look like the teams to beat. But one thing's for certain with this franchise, it has never been easy. This is the 49th year of the franchise. It's just their 6th postseason trip. It wouldn't have quite felt right for them to just cruise to the World Series. I'm sure they would have taken it that way, but if they're to get there, this would be a more fitting fashion, really having to earn it.
Yeah, you didn't want to think this was a must-win for the Mariners because that would sound silly, but being at 2-2 tomorrow's huge because you've got a twist in the series that has really twisted, and you start feeling like the pitching staff that kept everybody at bay has been normalized, and the last 2 games, it's credit Toronto.
Kirk's down on strikes. He'd struck out just once all postseason. Going to his last at bat, it's a 2nd K in a row. Well, on one side, the Dodgers have taken a 3-0 series lead over the Milwaukee Brewers in a pitching-dominated series. Now, the Dodger offense has not done a ton, but it's been plenty with the way that they've pitched. And over here, it's been traded blowouts. 13 runs followed by 8 runs for the Blue Jays in these 2 games. But that was after the Mariners splurged for 10 in the 2nd game in Toronto.
It's so eerie how the 3rd inning started the same both days.
Varsho with a bullet down the line, foul.
Leadoff double followed by the hero of the Blue Jays so far in these two games. 2 2-run homers, and then they added on. They didn't quite get the number they got yesterday, but man, oh man.
8 and 9 in the order. And they continued it, those two guys, Kiner-Falefa and Jimenez. Jimenez knocked in another 2 runs. Kiner-Falefa had another hit, scored twice. Varsho's down on strikes, 2 away. Sunday, a Fox NFL doubleheader starts with Saquon and the Eagles taking on the Vikings or other regional action. And then in America's Game of the Week, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders against Dak and the Cowboys or Packers Cardinals. Check your local listings for the games in your area. Only on Fox. Strike 1 on Ernie Clement. 2 more hits today. Sir Anthony Dominguez gets ready to handle the 9th. Now the 2 hits today, Clement hitting .467, and Rodriguez comes on to steal a 3rd and send this game to the bottom of the 9th.
Like just kind of was in the dugout.
I think they all look good wearing it.
The one that he fit the best is Kirk.
I love him in it.
I love the jacket.
Vladdy created it, and it looks pretty good on Vladdy.
When Vladdy puts it on, when he's hitting home runs, we're in a good spot.
Well, he made the jacket. That's why it fits so perfectly. Yeah, and he's had to wear it 5 of the 8 games that they've played in this postseason. He's gone deep and put that jacket on.
It should fit if he made it,
I guess. Hey, tell me what we should not expect tomorrow, because maybe then we'll know what to expect, because it's been everything that you don't think is going to happen. That's what tends to happen in these games.
Don't expect a 1-0 game.
So we're going to get a 1-0 game.
We just might tune in, but no, it's been a year. It's been a weird postseason in the American League, because the teams and every time you see a narrative and you're like, oh no. And then it flips, and then you're on the other side, and you're going, I don't know if they're going to lose again. And then you go, I don't know if they can win again. It's just the really, having been in so many postseason games in my career, it's got to be like you don't listen and you don't pay attention and you look for the next guy to do something crazy or good that flips it. And honestly, Seattle has to play a perfect game tomorrow, and they've done it, and they can do it.
5 o'clock Eastern. Everything begins right here on FS1 tomorrow. Rematch of Game 1. Bryce Miller for the Mariners. Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays. And then the National League Championship Series continues at 8:30 Eastern on TBS. The Dodgers looking for the sweep. Shohei Ohtani scheduled to start that game for LA. Jorge Polanco leads off the bottom of the 9th and takes a strike from Sir Anthony Dominguez. Polanco 5 hits over the first 3 games of this series, but hitless tonight. We got the rally shoes back. Oh! Rally flip-flop.
Brave.
Sky high to center field for Varsho. One away here in the 9th inning. And even when the Blue Jays took off this summer, they were below 500 for the first couple months, but then they really start playing well. You get into the middle part of the season, and there's still a lot of naysayers saying, hey, look at the run differential. They're not as good as the record says they are. This is going to fade at some point. And then down the stretch, the Yankees go crazy. The Blue Jays start losing games, and it's like, well, they're going to blow the division. Maybe it wasn't real all along. And they fall down 2-0 in this series. And every single time you start to count them out, here they come. Strike on Josh Naylor. Hardened by this all. Callous by it all at this point. Now they're trying to keep the perfect yo-yo going. 3 hits, no hits, 3 hits, no hits. 2 hits tonight. Hey, there's a third. Love when trends continue.
Yeah.
Guy can hit. And he's pointing out there to Miles Straw, his old Cleveland Guardians teammate. Held him to the single. He's been on all 4 times in this game, so he's 3 for 3. The rest of the team 2 for 24. Suarez, who's got one of those 2 hits, and knocked in one of the 2 runs. Very quietly hitting all 4 games in this championship series for Suarez. Chris Bassett and Brendan Little. John Schneider wanting to make sure that Sir Anthony Dominguez stays ready for tomorrow. Not let that pitch count get too high here. Oh, 2-2.
Bassett more than likely just getting his bullpen session in. A little touch and feel.
In the air, shallow right field. Connie Falefa's over there. He's had a good game in his first start of this championship series, and he squeezes out number 2. He got that in the palm of his glove, saying, ooh. They got a bunch of people who own Game 6 tickets. Really excited about this. Going to get to use those tickets back in Toronto. And they're hoping to have more chances to cheer than they had in the 2 games to start this series. The Mariners took the crowd out of the game very quickly in both. This was a party during the division series there against the Yankees. And they're going to get another chance to throw a party here in 2025. Canzone with 2 away. Takes ball 1. On 29 hits the last 2 days for the Blue Jays.
You could say they got a double dose of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and now Christmas will come early as the team comes home. Two and 2. Kevin Gausman tomorrow for the Blue Jays. He's been their guy for years. Bryce Miller, who has struggled for a lot of this season. Best start of the year in Game 1. Tries to follow that up. Just a bit outside. And you wonder if this continues here, if he doesn't get Canzone, if John Schneider is going to take him out. Reserve his availability for tomorrow. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Canzone. Here it comes. That is strike 3. And this best of 7 has become a best of 3. The road team reigning supreme. The Blue Jays winning games 3 and 4 in Seattle after dropping the 2 in Toronto. What a bounce back.
It is. It's great belief. It's sticking to your plan and knowing you're just a moment from getting connected at the plate. And this team His team relies on all 9 guys. I've never seen a lineup do as many things consistently as they do.
Hit for average, hit for power, hit with runners in scoring position, move guys up when they have to. And tonight they pair it with a vintage start from Max Scherzer, who gets his first postseason win in 6 years. 8-2 Blue Jays. To the studio we go. KB, take it away, man.
God bless you. Double pro. I'm on this sound fairly no. DJ Softy man. I'm on you be. You don't know. Sugar. Love what you give to me. It's sweet past you got cane. I not go like you dey hide me past cocaine. See the way she just the wine. She the one pass up piano do. I swear to God, now she dey do me do. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you give me love again, I will never go away. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you don't give me love again, you go make me go insane. Comforting, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Yeah, comforting reloki me. Yeah, combo no be reisa. Yeah, comforting, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Yeah, comforting reloki me. Yeah, combo no be reisa. My baby too fine, no, now so she dey beautiful. Anytime I see her face, you, I go just tell a fool. Now because of you, my guys them they call me big fool. Big fool, man. See the way she soft to you, she be like foo. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you give me love again, I will never go away. Comforting, give me love again. Give me love again. If you don't give me love again, you go make me go insane. Comforting, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Yeah, comforting reloki me. Yeah, combo no be reisa. Yeah, comforting, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Yeah, comforting reloki me. Yeah, combo no be reisa. Double pro. Yeah, God bless you know. I'm on this song, yeah. Double pull on the miss. Yeah, DJ Softy man. I see you. I'm on this song, yeah.
Как тяжко мертвецу среди людей, живым и страстным притворяться. Но надо в общество втираться, скрывая для карьеры лязг костей. Живые спят, мертвец встает из гроба, и в банк идет, и в суд идет, в сенат. Чем ночь белее, тем чернее злоба, и перья торжествующе скрипят. Мертвец весь день трудится над докладом, присутствие кончается и вот нашептывает он, виляя задом, сенатору скобрезный анекдот. Уж вечер мелкий дождь зашлепал грязью прохожих и дома и прочий вздор, а мертвеца к другому безобразию скрежещущий несет таксомотор. Как тяжко мертвецу среди людей, живым и страстным притворяться. Мертвец весь день трудится над докладом. Присутствие кончается, и вот нашептывает он, виляя задом. Симулятор русско-брезный анекдот. Уж вечер мелкий дождь зашлепал грязью прохожих и дома и прочий вздор. А мертвеца другому безобразию скрежещущий несет так за мотор.
Когда вы стоите на моем пути, такая живая, такая красивая, но такая измученная. Говорите все печально, думаете о смерти, никого не любите и презираете свою красоту. Что ж, разве я обижу вас? О нет, ведь я не насильник, не обманщик и не гордец. Хотя много знаю, слишком много думаю с детства и слишком занят собой. Ведь я сочинитель, человек, называющий все по имени, отнимающий аромат у живого цветка. Сколько не говорите о печальном, сколько не размышляете о концах и началах, все же я смею думать, что вам только 15 лет. И потому я хотел бы, чтобы вы влюбились в простого человека, который любит землю и небо.